Good afternoon, everybody. Happy Veterans Day in the November 11th version of the group workshop called Strategy, also known as #BusinessRelations, or very specifically for this edition, we say, what do I say next? So that said, let me share the screen. Okay, kind of like want to, not the intro. I started at the last screen. Technical difficulties, right, guys? So free format, we're going to go over like the general principles that we're going to speak off. I'm going to go through some slides so that anybody could take any of these workshops. You know, they don't have to like watch the entire series before anything makes sense. So we're going to cover some of those basics right now. So some of the considerations, feel free, Bhavesh, Asta, or Edelson. Who wants to take check number one?
But your screen is not showing any.
I'm sorry, screen's not showing?
It's showing, but it's not showing any slides.
Oh. Let me try that again. Thank you for letting me know. Screen's 2, yeah. How about now?
Yep.
All right, cool, thank you. So we are going through these things, but I'm going to ask Bhavesh, Asta, and Edelson to cover this material, to give you their perspective about these considerations that we talk about in career services. So who's gonna take check number one? Job search is an art, take advice with a grain of salt. Who wants to take that? Share your perspective.
All right, I'll start with that if no one wants to go it. So basically, when we are looking for a job, or it can be anything like
maybe yeah, I can start if you guys want.
All right,
Bhavesh is
go on.
You're gonna. Bhavesh was midstream. Edelson, you want to follow him? Edelson?
I believe his network is not that strong. That's why he.
Oh, that's why he came on afterwards.
Hmm.
Edelson, can you hear us?
No, he dropped from the call.
Oh, he dropped. Okay, so proceed. Please proceed. Just because it's still recording. Bhavesh.
Yeah. Okay. So when we are looking for a job, it can be anything like an on-campus job, or it can be an internship or a full-time role, because you can be at any point of your graduation. So the career services can help you with that job search, and searching for a job is really an art, because when you are looking for a job, you can get a lot of positions that you might be interested in, and you have to make sure that which position you want to go for, or which kind of relates to your passion. And that too, you can get a lot of people can give you a lot of advices, but the ultimate thing is that how you want to pursue that role, how you want to apply to that thing, because the final thing is the final what do you say? Final thing, what matters is your approach, how
Yes.
you explain your resume, or any point that what accomplishments you have, or what things you have done, how you explain it to the employer. That is what matters. So you have to take the advice with a grain of salt. It means that you can listen to everyone, but ultimately you have to follow what you feel is right, because what you have your gut feeling, because
Yes.
your gut feeling will tell you that this will work for me, or this will not work for me.
Very good, Bhavesh. So you covered check numbers 1 and 2, actually, in that you take it with a grain of salt, and you were absolutely right. There's all sorts of advice out there, but not all advice works for everybody. Take what works for you, right, Edelson?
That's true. That's true. Each case is one case. Like everyone everyone's case is different. We need to figure out what we need and what we need to what we need to do in order to accomplish the best job search.
Yes. And we had
Exactly.
a discussion with a student that just came to my office this afternoon. People think that what we put in the resume, it's like one size fits all, and it's not, because
Yeah.
you are different students, come from different backgrounds, have different strengths. So that actually determines what shows up in your resume. And
Mhm.
because we are trying to make you look the best, of course, you want to start with your strongest points. Sometimes it's the education because that's all you have. Sometimes it's the experience because you do have experience. So it kind of like really varies based on who we're talking about. Good, very good, Bhavesh and Edelson. What about number 3, which is a very, very key point for students, because the confusing part about resume or job search, we think we're talking about ourselves and they forget this one critical point, which is check number 3. So take it away.
I
Who wants
think,
to tackle that? Good job, Asta.
thank you, Vinny. I hope everyone can hear me. I'm audible.
Yes,
So basically, the third point says that we have to think like the person who is hiring us, the manager. Like I remember my case. I discussed this point with Bernie when I started with career services. So he told me that we sat together and we figured out my resume. And he kind of made me understand that it's about thinking what the hiring manager will think at your place. Like previously I was thinking like a student. I used to include each and everything in my resume, make it a longer one, and then after me getting uh, working with career services and meeting with Bonnie, I kind of realized, and I remember I was on a video call with him, and kind of told him that yeah, I removed extra spaces from my resume. Now it looks better. So yes,
yes.
um, yeah. So it's always about thinking like a hiring manager, what they particularly want in the candidate if they want to hire them.
Very good, Asta. So you retain the
Actually,
information.
yeah, I'm trying my level best to do.
You're not trying, you're actually doing your best. There's a difference, right? You're doing your best, Asta. Great job. Anything else that you want to add, Edelson or Bhavesh, to thinking like a hiring manager?
One thing I would like
Exactly.
to say from the point of a student, that make sure that you don't put up everything on your resume, because then there are two things that there. One thing is that there are some automatic check softwares now these days, like they automatically go through your resume, and they can that can like put you out of the final stack. Second thing is that, so make sure that you put relevant stuff according to the job role and descriptions that you are applying for. The second thing is regarding the, if you put everything on your resume, try to put relevant stuff, but keep something to yourself so that you can, when you are in front of the employer, actually in an interview, you have something to talk about. It can be anything like from a hobby, or something that you are currently working on, current project or anything that's not currently finished, but that is currently in progress. So that way you can show that these are all things I have done and I'm currently working on these things. So it shows that you have already accomplished something and you are still working on growing in the future.
Awesome. Great share, Bhavesh. I love your point of making it relevant. It's not about complete or comprehensive or accurate data. It's actually giving the hiring manager the relevant information that they need and want so that they decide to call you in for an interview. Very good share, Bhavesh. Edelson, anything else to add?
Yes,
Are we
also try to outstand, because the hiring manager, especially now, they receive a bunch of requests, a bunch of applications, 1,000, maybe 2,000. And if, for example, if I'm applying for a software engineering, everyone is also doing computer science university. So what differentiates me from the other person? So that's what we need to focus on, like trying to think in the part of the hiring manager, what would I like to hear about a certain candidate? And that's really good. So try to focus more on results. What have you accomplished that can caught attention of the hiring manager and make you outstand between the others and actually get hired.
Cool. Awesome. Awesome share, Edelson. So I want to pull this back to our topic for today. We're talking about making your cold outreach and then making it such that you're relating to possible people who could help you find a job. So let's go to the next slide. I went the other direction. So this is actually the LinkedIn group that has actually just surpassed the 500 member mark. What are you guys getting out of the LinkedIn group? I'd like to hear from this group that we have assembled. What do you guys get out? What's the importance of being part of the LinkedIn group? Who wants to start?
You have access to a lot of resources, not only for resumes, for LinkedIn, how to do the job search, how to interact, how to behave on the interview. It's really cool. So you get to understand the other people's mistake so that you don't need to get into that mistake. So you learn with the other people, because especially on the group, we have, for example, a bunch of study cases between the old resumes and new. So we get to know what other people did wrong, so that we don't do that. So it's really cool to be in that group.
Awesome, Edelson. So for the next one who's speaking, I want you to tell us what you got out of doing cold outreach. What have you gotten from the group about the concept of creating a bigger network and building business relations with people who you do not know? Bhavesh or Asta?
So cold outreach was really new to me when I came to US, because I was not doing that when I was in India. So when I got familiar with this concept, like your one mantra kept me awake in nights, that people get people hired. So I was really impressed by the fact that you made it. You actually told it in one of these workshops, or we were meeting for some other. There was some other session that we were meeting for. So you made this. You said this line that people get people hired, and it sort of related to me, that I started growing on my network. So the people, after hearing this, I made a policy that I will try to connect with 3 people per day, even if it does not works out for me every day. I'll still try to grow my network so that uh, it works out in a direction where I can be I can help someone out if I find some resources that are not relevant to me, but might be some relevant for some other person, or some other person can be helpful, and can like it will be a win-win situation kind of thing.
Awesome,
And
share,
then
Bhavesh.
after applying the resources that you share you share the study index in every comment of the group, so that no one can miss out on those resources. I really like this, that you keep on sharing those study index so that everyone has that resources. Just one click there, the resources are just one click away.
Absolutely, absolutely. And it's available to you guys because you guys are students. You already have your plates full with your studies, your projects, your homework. Number one, I say this time and again, I applaud you guys who take the time to do career job search activities, because this is going to serve you in the long run. And the beauty of this is, even if you're just looking for an on-campus job or looking for an internship, this is really preparation and setting you guys up for the rest of your professional lives. Very good share, Bhavesh. How about Asta? Was there anything else that you wanted to share? Anything that you've gotten out of reaching out to people that you don't know? Or kind of like how Bhavesh shared, he gave us a perspective of where he came from when he heard about the concept.
Yeah, actually, Bhavesh covered a lot of the points that I had. And yeah, one thing I learned from the group, like I met you and you told me about the group, because previously I had no idea that there is a group called Career Services on LinkedIn, and I never thought that way also. Like I was, like I told you earlier, I was thinking like a student, so I was like just applying and applying and applying.
Very good.
Yeah,
Very good
after
perspective.
getting a session from you, talking to you, it was you who told me like, okay, no, remember like when I met you, you told me how to connect to people with a small but a nice message. Previously, I was just sending requests for following them. You told me how to personalize invites and send messages to people so that they connect with you. So, and you get connected with them, and then later on you have a chat with them about the perspectives or the job perspectives that they have in their company if they are HRs. And also, like from this group, like Edelson told, we get a lot of resources of how to keep ourselves calm, composed, apart from getting job search strategies. So this is one of the things I like, that you keep on posting some mind relaxing exercises. Like I think yesterday only you posted some mind relaxing exercises in the group. Yeah, that is one of the nice things like I like it the most. That okay, because we have a lot of things going on, and apart from getting a job search strategies, we also get strategies or techniques that can keep ourselves calm, which is actually required nowadays. Since
Great
recession is also
perspective.
coming.
Yeah, thank you so much, Asta. So we're doing the holistic approach to you guys, because you're not just students. You got a lot of stuff going on for you guys. So we approach it from all sorts of aspects. So thank you for that share. So going back to our topic for today, we're looking at an approach that is focused on reaching out into people that we do not know. We're reaching into companies to find advocates who can help us to find the job. So the old way of doing it, or one of the methods of doing it, is pretty much going to the job boards and applying to these jobs, hoping that they call you in for an interview, sending a thank you. But what happens if you run out of possibilities? We're kind of like teaching you a method that you're finding other people who can help you to accomplish the job search. So very quickly I wonder if we should go to the design principles first, or I think we should go to the wrong way of reaching people. So on your screen, let me go to the LinkedIn group. And this is actually a demo as to how you go to the study guide index that we're talking about. So on top, under home, you want to click that. And on the left side, if you already are part of the group, you'll see Illinois Tech Career Services. And then the way that we have it right now is any post that you have in the group, or most of everything, you'll see the index as one of the comments in the post. So you can click up any on this to open up the index. So let me click on this. So under the topic that we have, like I started this talk, we said that most of everything is under business relations, otherwise known as strategy, and otherwise known for today's topic, we say, what do I say next? So under business relations, I can do a Control F to search for it and go for the wrong way to make a request. And I guess let's address the design principles of connecting by describing what's wrong with this specific picture. So what comments? Let's frame it in that what's wrong with this one that we're looking at, and what should be the correct way to approach it. So what do you guys think of the length of this message?
Can I talk?
Please.
Yes. So I think she went directly to request something. I think that was the first mistake. I say, okay, I'm interested in, and she gives a lot of details. I think we should try to keep it simple. So maybe if she tried to first, like, not go directly into the request, but try to talk to her, getting to know, how can I know more about business privacy data and stuff like that, and then start the conversation. And after that, make that request. I don't know what
Very
you
good.
think.
Very good. Edelson. Other comments before I go to the design principle slide?
It's like one week you can view to this is like it's the message is very big, and she started like giving her own details. Like she kept on talking about herself. Like I'm interested in this role. I have done this. I have done that. But where are you talking about the other person? Like you have to think about the other person as well. Why the other person would want you to why the other person will want to reply to you.
Very good, Bhavesh. So the point that you're making is this message is all about me,
Yeah.
and me, and it doesn't take into consideration the other person that they're speaking to. And the other thing that we have to contend with is everybody talks about themselves in this way. So number one, it's not setting this person apart. And number two, I'm not enticed to connect with this person because they're all about themselves. They just want more help from me. Sure, I'm in a job to help people, but this isn't the way to approach me so that I am enticed or feel that I want to help this person. Very, very good comment. So I'm going to go back to the design principles that we had earlier. We have the wrong way, but let's talk about what the right way is. So what is the right way to make a connection request? We already covered the first part. You really want to make it short. And the reason we want to make it short is we want to kind of be inviting to the other person that I don't give them a novel to read. What about checkpoint number 2? I think we covered the first checkpoint and we covered the third check where we don't immediately make a request. What about the second?
You want to write a message in a form that the other person will be interested in replying to you, so that it will write something like that. The person has to like he is forced down to reply. Like they are curious. Like what will be your next reply? What are you talking about? Or try to be creative and get a reply from them.
Right. So you want to be creative such that you're not just really saying anything aside from being short. What you're saying also has to be designed such that you are expecting a response from the person that you are reaching out to cold, and that you are laying the foundation because you're not expecting this to be the last message between the two of you. You're just setting the foundation because you are expecting a back and forth. Because guess where the business relations happens? It happens when you're going the back and forth. It's just like making a friend in real person, right? If
Yeah.
Bhavesh and I were in person, how do we become friends? We don't become friends automatically. There has to be some sort of conversation. There has to be some sort of relationship that evolves, and that is based on, the back and forth that can be achieved through conversation. Anything to add to that, Edelson?
No, I think you guys said it all. Yeah, because I think that's a characteristic of the human being. The human being likes to talk about himself. So if we try to first give a compliment or trying to find something that we have in common with that person, maybe it can make the person more interested about talking to you, and he probably won't deny a request from you. Yeah.
Awesome. I like how you went the compliment route, and all that information that you can talk about with this person that you're reaching out to cold can be found where?
In the index.
No. Where can I find information about the person that I'm reaching out to cold so that I have something to talk about?
On the page itself.
On the LinkedIn, or we can try
their
to
profile.
And the profile, yeah.
Very good. From their profile, or do Google research, type in their name, right? Because you have all that. Awesome, guys. Thank you for the introduction. I loved your perspectives. Very, very good. So are we going to start with, say, Asta? Asta, you ready with your first message? You want to give us a background as to how you sent your message, and then
Do I have to
let's
share my screen?
brainstorm. Yes,
One
please.
second. I joined from my phone.
Yes, you should be able to share your screen now, Asta, and then stand by, Bhavesh, with the rest of your messages. Are you able to share, Asta?
No, actually, I'm attending from my phone.
Oh, on your phone. Got it.
Yeah.
Ooh, I've never did Zoom and
Okay,
share my
I'll just
screen.
give you. Okay, I'll just give you an overview of what chat I had with the HR and person, and what reply he gave, because I got a reply from one of the HRs yesterday. And,
Well,
he
out of
remembered.
curiosity, I want to hear what you said first, because obviously it was effective, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah,
curious to hear what you said first, because they
yeah.
connected. So let's listen to Asta's message. What did you say?
So, like always, like you had taught, and we had a session and we discussed that you don't directly get to the point. Like the previous screenshot you showed,
Mhm,
the person was talking about himself, and she or he directly went to the point. So
mhm,
I searched about that. About she's a lady and she's working in Amazon as an
mhm.
HR. So I saw her profile on LinkedIn, and I got to know an idea that she's interested in software development. Like I am also kind of interested in that, and she was hiring for that particular role. So
Okay.
and she shared some previous posts about how what software development is and how you can land a good job in a software development. Apart
So
from
Asta, you were watching a bunch of her posts already before you reached out?
yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah, actually. So I just started, like she posted a day before yesterday. She posted a post. So based on that, I asked her about her well-being and the post she shared. And
You actually
like
sent her
I,
a message. You didn't
yeah,
comment on the post. You sent a
no,
message.
yeah, I sent her a message. Like because she had that invite section, the personalized invite section. In that, I sent her a message that I came through your post, and also that I am also interested in software development, and I kind of like the way she explained almost everything, what software development is, how you can get into the SDLC cycle or agile development, what all is like. It was a detailed session I think she took. So I just told her about that, and also like I like the way she represented all the processes and
Okay,
everything.
good. Just out
So
of curiosity,
from
how
that,
many sentences did you have?
I think it was 67 because no, sorry 167. It was 167 out of 300
167
because
characters.
yeah, characters, because the personalized invite is about 300 characters, so I had to cut
Okay,
short it to
so you did
167.
half. All right. So for the team that we have assembled here right now, Asta, I caught three things that she did correctly. Can you guys identify what you did correctly?
First of all, she was already she kept the message short. Then second thing is that she already was looking through her relevant post that
Yeah.
the relevant content,
Mhm.
and
What did she do with that? She did something after going through the posts and she put it in her message. She did what? She referenced the
Yeah.
post in her message,
correct.
right? She referenced the post in her message, indicating to the other person that, hey, this person isn't just about themselves. They actually read what I posted. Was one thing that she did good, right? She dropped the hint that she read the post. And then what else did Asta do about the post? She told the other person what about the post?
She left a hint for her about her that she's also interested in that.
Well, that she was interested, but that's about Asta. That wasn't a brownie point. That was about Asta, but she did something that got her brownie points. What did she say about the post? She said that was written very well. She complimented the other person.
Compliment.
She didn't just say, I just read your post. She went further and she said, hey, the post was written very well, or however she said it exactly. But when Asta was describing it, that's what I got. Her initial message. Make sense? Did I miss anything, Asta or Edelson?
No, I guess you told the most important points.
Okay, cool. So you were saying that you got stuck. Was this the message that you got stuck at, Asta?
Like she replied me back asking if I'm like if I'm interested in software development. So currently, what I'm doing to know more about software development and what I'm planning.
Can you read her message verbatim, please?
Yeah, sure. So I'll just open my LinkedIn. So he told that like I am a HR looking for a software development post. So like what are you planning to do or intended to do? Are you currently studying? So I replied her back that yeah,
No,
I'm
no, no,
currently
no, 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 no. Let's do this step by step, Asta. So I want you to read exactly what she said in her response to you. After she connected, she obviously accepted your connection request, and then she said something. I want you to read exactly what she said.
yeah, 1 second. Yeah, she told it was nice it was nice that you read about my post and it's my pleasure that you like the post. So she just told me let's keep in touch. Like this was a short message. She just told
And
me
then
it
she
was
said,
nice.
just keep in touch.
Yeah, let's keep in touch.
And that's why you
And
got stuck, right? Because she kind of ended it,
yeah,
right? Is that
and
why you're
then I
stuck?
was like,
Because she said,
wait,
thank you for saying that you like my post and let's keep in touch. That was pretty much all she said, right?
yeah. So like, what should I reply to her next so that she's kind of interested to know more about me because I cannot directly jump. Okay, I'm currently in my second year. I'm doing this. Like I don't want to go directly to the my part or just talking about myself. Because she might have got the hint that if I'm interested in software development, so I might be doing something related to software development.
Mhm.
So that that's like I want to know like how should I reply her back so that she's
Yeah.
again connected to me because she actually she told me in her like I said first like the second message I said was thank you for accepting my invite because she accepted my request and
Mhm.
also she asked me
Okay,
like
hang on a second, hang on a
later on
second. So there's 3 messages so far, right? So you sent
yeah
your original request and then she accepted. You sent a second request where you said, thank you for accepting my request,
yeah
correct? Is
and
that
yeah I
correct?
told her that definitely yes we'll keep in touch.
No, 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 no. You see, this is kind of difficulty. That's why I'd rather read it. So that's why I'm being very verbal so that we understand the sequence of messages because we're not looking at anything. So humor me, Asta. Okay, so you sent a connection request that had specific verbiage. So it obviously worked. We already discussed that. And then this person connected, and then you sent a second message from your end, which you said, thank you for connecting. Is that what you said? Or did you say something else?
Yes. Yeah, I said her hi with her name. Thank you for accepting my invite, and yes, we will definitely keep in touch.
I'm confused because I thought the keep in touch. So hang on. She accepted your request and she said something. Is that right?
Yeah,
Okay. So here's the scenario. You sent your initial request. She accepted the request and she also sent you a message, which is good. Okay. She actually said something. Thank you. And then let's keep in touch. And then you replied, okay, this is, here's a teaching point for you guys. Asta kind of like lost an opportunity to keep the ball rolling because all she said was thank you and sure, I'll keep in touch. That was your last message, Asta, correct?
yeah, it was my last. So
Okay.
I'm kind of
So,
like, how should I message her again so that she
well, this
will?
is why I'm saying you lost the opportunity because had that been sent to me, I wouldn't have just said thank you. Because remember, it's got to be short. It's got to be designed so that you're expecting a request. And all you said was, sure, we'll keep in touch. That was kind of like an ending. So your second reply was not designed to keep the conversation going because you kind of like shut it off as well. You just said, oh yeah, we'll keep in touch. So for the bullet point number 2 that we said earlier, it wasn't worded to elicit a response because you kind of closed the door. Make sense?
Yeah.
So I'm curious now what you guys think you should have said to keep the door open. Ideas from you guys.
I believe the conversation should have been more open-ended so that exactly following along the lines that by saying something like that in sort of a question or something, so that the other person has to reply to your question, or he or she feels tempted to reply to that.
Good
So maybe-
suggestion.
Yeah.
You're saying Asta could have ended with another question so that she was
Question.
expecting a reply.
Yeah,
Does that
like,
make sense to you,
along the
Asta?
lines that we keep when we are in a discussion, in sort of a discussion, we end the discussion like, please let me know your thoughts on this thing. Like, you share your perspective and then you say that I would like to hear your thoughts on this, so that the other person has to share his or her thoughts.
Asta, did you get something out of that?
Yes. I
So it's a
got it.
good suggestion. Number one, you just realized that we kind of closed the door with the way you answered it, because we could have kept it open to Bhavesh's point by asking yet another question or referring to something else in her profile that you could compliment her on or something like that. But essentially what's happened here so far, and that's why you're stuck, is your answer actually closed the door for yourself, right? Does that make sense, Asta? Do you have questions as to why the approach?
Yeah, I actually got my doubt cleared now. I did a mistake actually. Yeah. I
Okay,
thought like
cool.
it's a generous way to thanking her. Like
Well,
she
it was
accepted my-
generous. Your thank you was okay, but that was it for your message. You could have taken it a step further. Again, that's why we talk about the design principles. The whole point of this is you want the back and forth. So when it comes to your turn to say something, same design principles. Is it short? Is it designed to elicit a response? And because you're still laying the foundation for the groundwork. In your case, you missed point number 2 because you said, thank you very much. And then you pretty much shut the door saying, sure, I'll keep in touch. Or I'm not sure how you worded it, but you closed the door. So we can still save that. And how can you guys have any ideas as to what's a good way for Asta to open the door again? What do you guys think?
Maybe he can reach out to her on some day by normally greeting her and asking how she has been doing, so that it's a general conversation, that you're not just because you said that, yeah, we'll keep in touch, it does not mean that you don't like you have to talk about the relevant topic only. You can just ask them how their life has been going, because that's what strengthens the relationships, not the personal ones also, but like the general and business ones as well.
Asta, does that make sense?
Yeah, that,
Yeah, for Bhavesh's, I'll get to you shortly, Edelson. To Bhavesh's point, I would let a few days pass, like say maybe Tuesday or Wednesday, and just say maybe Happy Wednesday or something like that. Because when you say Happy Wednesday, it's short. And then what would be the tendency for somebody, especially you? She already accepted the response. She would say something back, right? Then you know that they're back in the race. And then don't waste your chance at keeping the door open again with whatever you respond to her response. So that's a good suggestion, Bhavesh. It looks like Edelson had another suggestion for you, Asta.
I think that basically maybe try to schedule a mini meeting or like a coffee. Say, oh, when could we talk? I would like to get to know more about what you write and stuff like that. Usually I would try to do that. For example, when I would meet people, I would try to ask for like a quick meeting or like a coffee where I can get to know more the person and see how that person maybe can help me. And then after I get to know and she's really engaged in the conversation, then put my request on it.
I hesitate. Why?
Sorry?
I said, I hesitate with your suggestion. Why?
Mm, hmm?
They just connected with your request. They said, let's keep in touch.
Yeah, because it's really recent, right? It's really
Very
recent.
good. Did you catch
That's
that?
yeah. It
Somewhere
depends.
further down the line, the relationship hasn't been established. She was nice enough to accept it. She said, let's keep in touch. Have you really laid the groundwork for some relationship? I think it's too soon.
Yeah,
All
that's
right.
true. So
Good suggestion. So we need to warm them up some more. Where can I go to get information to warm this up some more? What's the most obvious place to go to right now?
Her profile.
Profile. Exactly. So Asta, you and I can talk this offline. I would ask you, because you're on your cell phone, if you were kind of like Bhavesh on a laptop, I'd ask you to like pull up this person's profile. We could go through it. We could formulate something for you. You and I can schedule something directly for me, but for the purposes of the workshop, it's kind of like difficult for us to understand it right now as a group. So I'm going to go jump to Bhavesh, if it's okay with you, Asta.
Yeah, that is okay.
Okay, but you understand. Did you get anything
Yes,
out of this conversation so far?
Yeah, I got an idea. I got to know my mistake, what I made.
Very
And yeah,
good. So I got homework for you. I want you to start researching this person's profile and start looking at things you can talk about. You did a great job with the first part where you spoke about their post and how she wrote it good. Think of something similar to that that you can find on their profile this time, and that's going to be your next opening.
yeah, sure.
But this time, when they respond, make sure that you do not close the door.
Yeah, sure. I'll definitely keep the things in my mind, like the points that we have discussed now. I definitely keep that in mind and try. Firstly, I'll try what Bhavesh said about like asking about how her day was and like initiating a little bit of conversation.
Yeah, you have
Before.
two suggestions. One of them was just the plain greeting. The other suggestion is to like look through their profile. If you could open up some other thing that would be interesting. So you have two options right now. And this is again what we say about job search is an art. Even this approach is an art. Your gut kind of tells you which direction to move. And you notice how I shared with you guys earlier. Edelson had a suggestion as to what to do with this, but my gut told me that it was too soon.
So, yeah, and that
Okay,
too,
this
like,
is what we mean. Yeah.
but
Go ahead.
my I have a different perspective than this one, that rather than hitting the same point again and again, why don't you go for a general suggestion so that they feel that okay, this person is talking me about business as well, and this person is like, even though they do not know me, they are trying to get to know me, so that it works along both the ways. They are trying to strengthen the relationship, so the other person also feels comfortable. Okay, yeah, you like being a human being, like a human being connects you with you on a personal level. That it helps you to strengthen the relationships that way. Like, you don't hit the same wall again and again. I'm sure that you liked her post and you commented her and you got a connection from that. But rather than going for the same spot, like going through another piece from her LinkedIn profile, it could help, but maybe along the lines, like after some general conversation, after one or two general conversation, you can talk about her recent post, because if a person is generally active on LinkedIn, they keep on posting some stuff. So you can, if you're trying to be not even about the past post, but the recent, you are following a recent post as well. So that will tell them that okay, this person is concerned with my professional life. They are reading my recent post as well. They tend to talk to. They are taking the efforts to talk to me on a general level. So it kind of, like, you are hitting every level. That's my point.
Yeah.
Very good. Very good. Thanks for sharing that, Bhavesh. So she's talking about diversifying your approach, which again comes to the art that we're talking about. It's not an exact science,
Correct.
but you're kind of like feeling out. I mean, it's just like human relations. So just time check for you guys. The session was scheduled till 4:30, which means we only have 5 minutes more. So we can either extend it and cover Bhavesh's information. I just want to check in with you guys, the participants, whether you're okay to continue and cover like one case maybe from Bhavesh, or should we end this call right now?
I'm okay.
You can continue.
Bhavesh is good. Asta,
Yeah, we can continue with the session.
we can continue. Okay. And Edelson,
I have a meeting at 4:30, so I will
you have a
have
meeting,
to.
so you're going to have to drop off. I'm going to
Yeah,
send you a
yeah,
copy of this recording, and then
no
we'll go into Bhavesh's information. Before you go, I'll give the floor to you, Edelson. Any final thoughts before you leave this call?
No, I think we learned a lot of things in the LinkedIn approach. And I actually learned something that it's because I come from a different background. It's really important now. Now I see that it's really important to understand how America or how people here do stuff. Because, for example, in Mozambique, when we would meet a person, we will jump to, like, for example, asking a meeting just to like get to know the person, stuff like that. But for example, in this case, was too soon. You see, because it's how it works here. So I
Gotcha.
get to learn, and now I know that, okay, for this type of people here, it doesn't work like that. Like I need to first develop a little bit. So it was really good to know that. It was
Thank
really
you,
good.
Adelson. It's like a grain of salt here as well. That it
Yeah,
might work for you, it might not work for you. So
not for you, exactly.
you
Because in
have to try.
Mozambique, it worked for me. That was my strategy. I always ask, when do you have a time to have a meeting? And the
Yeah.
person would receive me, we will judge, and then I will close the business, or she will give me the opportunity. But it's not like that here. So it's really nice to see it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Great,
Thank you.
great share, Edelson. I'm glad you brought that up. So thank you for joining today. I guess you have the meeting that you run to. We will continue with one other message with Bhavesh and Asta, and I'll send you the recording.
No problem. Thank you.
All right, Edelson, thank you. So Bhavesh, the floor is yours. I guess please share your screen. I hope you're able to.
Yes, I'm able to do that. All right, are you guys able to see my screen?
It's starting to share. Beautiful.
So I have laid out like 4 examples for our session, and
Okay.
like this person, I recently connected with her today only. She was a guest speaker at Illinois Tech, and she gave a lecture on human-computer interaction, HCI. So I really like to talk about like her lecture. So after the lecture, I met with her, and we generally talked about like what's her plan. She's basically a researcher. So I generally talked about her, what's her plan for the further research and how she's planning to implement some certain things. So she was interested in my talk, and she said that, okay, do one thing, connect with me on LinkedIn, and we can
She
talk
actually
about
said connect with her on LinkedIn.
LinkedIn.
That's
Yeah,
the background. Okay, good.
correct.
Would
And,
she have known who you are if she just saw your name?
I gave her the hint that I was the guy. Like if you read my message that I wrote her, hello Akrisha ma'am, and
Okay.
I'm a graduate student at Illinois Tech. I attended your lecture on 3rd of November, and we spoke after the lecture. And
Okay.
I was the guy in the cap if it rang any bells. So
Yeah, that's good.
so the thing is that I leave a hint over that how certain people can remember me.
Yeah, that's why I was kind of asking. So that's a good move because you're
Mhm.
thinking of what I'm thinking as well. How would they differentiate you?
Correct,
Actually,
correct.
I took it a step further in that name recognition because
Mhm.
some of the things that I do also when I meet a person and then I tell them that we're going to connect on LinkedIn, especially if this person said that they collected, I kind of like joke about it and just say, hey, don't forget, it's Bertie Floresca.
Mm.
Do you guys get it?
Yeah.
I'm trying to make sure that they remember me because assuming this person was getting all sorts of requests,
Mhm.
by me taking that time to like repeat my name or even joke about, did you get the spelling right?
Right.
Or something like that, just so they remember, kind of like the same thing that you did, talking about you and your baseball cap. So nice job actually with what you did. So did this person connect with you?
Yeah, this person, like, these are all my connections, recent connections. I have like laid out the examples for showing that what my first message was to them.
Okay, so Asta, any comments on Bhavesh's message? Obviously it worked because she connected.
Yeah, I specifically like the way Bhavish ended it with the recognition part. If you remember the guy in the cap, I got an idea and I can try that.
Very good. And that's why we have these workshops, because you're getting all sorts of ideas. It's a brainstorm, so to speak, and it kind of like spurs other ideas when you're hearing other people's approaches. So great share, Asta. So did you want, how did you want to proceed with this, Bhavesh? Were you stuck with this? You want to go to the next message? I'll let you lead.
I'll probably write up like she has just connected with me today only.
Oh, I got you. So the next move is yours.
Correct.
Okay. So did you want to run that by us, or do you have it covered, or what are you thinking?
I am yet to think on it.
Okay.
To be frank, yeah.
So, but it's going to cover the same things that we had, right?
Yeah,
Especially
exactly.
bullet number 2, because we just learned from Asta's message that you kind of like shut the door. You don't want to shut the door on this.
Exactly, yeah.
Actually, I do have a suggestion for this. She accepted, but she didn't say anything, correct?
Correct, yeah.
Do you remember my post? I shared a post about this. And I want everybody on the call to learn from it as well. So, Bhavesh, can you go to the LinkedIn group and go to Business Relations, because I shared a post about this specific case. Go to the index under Business Relations.
Are you able to see my screen still or not?
There's things.
The screen is still visible, right?
Yeah, it's still visible.
Okay.
So scroll down to a post. You can do a control F and TH.
Your voice is breaking up, buddy.
You can do a control F
Control F.
and THX. Did that sound better?
I'm not able to hear it clearly.
Okay, hang on.
Voice is getting muffled.
Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, you are. I'm able to hear you.
I don't hear you.
Hello. I'm able to hear you.
Hello.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Hello, hello.
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 Hello. I can hear you.
Hello.
Hello.
Test. Oh, I can't hear you though. You can hear me, but I can't hear you. So speaker has to be in a system. Say something, Bhavesh.
Can you hear me now?
Say something, please.
Can you hear me?
Okay, yeah, I had my volume down. So, all right, I can hear you now. Sorry. So did you find the post that says do a control F and THX?
THX. All right. Yeah. I remember that you were saying.
Yes. And why did I say I do this? Do you remember what I said as well? So scroll down, please, so that everybody sees.
All right.
Scroll down and notice that this is the same case as Bhavesh. I had originally sent a message and then the person accepted and didn't say anything. They accepted the request, but they didn't say anything. And guess what I wrote back? I just wrote plain thanks. What was my explanation again as to why I did this, Bhavesh? Do you remember?
You said that I don't remember about this.
Okay.
If
you don't remember, let me repeat it right now.
I remember about THX. Like generally, you people try to like. There's a general pop-up that you can click on it and it generally sends the message. So
yes.
it shows that you actually took the effort of writing THX.
Yes, that was one of the things that on another workshop, somebody brought that up, okay? But let me explain this for Asta and the rest of the people listening to this specific workshop. Okay, here's the scenario again. Bhavesh composed something very complete in his connection request. The person saw it and actually accepted his request, but did not have the courtesy of replying to what Bhavesh said. Do you guys catch that? They simply accepted the request, but didn't give you the courtesy of replying back to what you said. Same thing with this guy that you're seeing on the screen right now. Jonathan, I sent this message to, and I was actually complimenting him on the workshop that I heard him at. He just accepted and didn't say anything. So I simply said, thanks, which does two things that I'm repeating for you guys right now. Number one, I'm kind of like nudging them saying, hey, common courtesy says, if I say something nice, please reply back. I'm implicitly saying that by just saying thanks or saying THX. And number two, they were brief. They were very brief. They had no response. That's why I'm being very brief by just saying THX. It's still not 100%. Okay, this may or may not work, but I've been doing this work for a little bit, and I found that this was a way to kind of like guilt them. I'm trying to make them guilty by saying, I said something, you didn't say anything back. I'm going to be short. So see if you do. So Bhavesh, it's up to you if you want to try this approach. You want to go back to your share? It's getting noisier by you, huh?
By me? I'm in MTCC, so I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh, all right. So this the person that I told you, she was a guest lecturer.
I'm sorry. I'm still sharing. Your screen is still showing Jonathan.
Right. Okay. Here, right?
Yes.
All right. So this person was a guest lecturer. I have laid out different examples to show our participants or the who will be viewing this recording how to connect with different people. So this was a guest lecturer, and this person is an alumni of our Illinois Tech.
Okay. The next one is alumni.
Yeah.
All right.
So this person is a. If I open their profile on LinkedIn, so if you can see, they work at Director of Financial Services, and this person is a
data science analyst.
Senior data science analyst at this.
Senior. Yes.
Yeah. So, but if you see their track record, like the experience, this person has like 5 years, 7 months at different. This person has been a teaching assistant for 8 years in our Illinois Tech. They have been teaching as a PhD student. This person was teaching to students about master students and undergrad students about how data science works. So since this relates to me, as I am interested in data science, so I wrote this message that, hello, Mr. Chang, I'm really impressed by your profile. Just like you, I'm passionate about data science, machine learning, artificial intelligence, and deep learning. You are an alumni of Illinois Tech, and I'm currently a graduate student at Illinois Tech. I would like to connect with you and be a part of your network.
Okay.
So when they accepted, when this person accepted my request, I wrote the message that I'm glad to connect with you. They told, same here, Bhavesh, and this has been the conversation so far.
So question for you, because you replied to them and you kind of just said, I'm glad to connect with you. You got lucky, I'm saying, that he responded. What would you have done if he didn't respond?
If he didn't respond?
Yes. Because look at your second message,
Mm-hmm.
Bhavesh. That's kind of close too. You just said, I'm glad to connect.
Correct.
Right? So you took that chance, but you know better now after having gone through Asta's example and this example, right?
Now I can relate to my mistake.
Yeah, it's kind of the same, right? Because it kind of closed it.
I can understand it better now.
Correct.
So what could Bhavesh have added? In this case, he got lucky because Mr. Chang responded, right? But how could you have done your second message better? You could have asked the question. Right? Because the question is designed for them to respond. But in your case, you got lucky because he responded. So since they already responded, it's really your move now. What are you going to do?
I'm going to look at the profile and about their recent post or generally catch up with them. Any others who have
Let's practice with them. Let's go back to the profile. And see how you could open this up with a question. I do a combination of complimenting them. Well, you already complimented with the, you were impressed with their resume, right?
Like this profile.
So maybe complimenting, because sometimes if you do too much of something, it kind of seems like it's not authentic, right?
Right.
So what else can we say about, take a look at what they posted, commented on a post, what else?
One year ago.
Actually, that's just showing you what they're liking. You were in the right spot. Were you taking a look at posts?
Yeah,
Click
but
post.
that's 1 year ago.
1 year ago, being proud. It doesn't matter if it's 1 year ago, if you could tie it in. Very proud to be part of this team. So Stewart School of Business. This could be a question, actually. How could it be a question? Because obviously you know that they were part of a team on Stewart School of Business.
I can ask about this challenge or what they did.
So be curious, put on your curiosity hat. So how could you act curious and still be genuine about the question? Or you could say something that, oh, I see that you were part of a team that did this. Was it hard? You know, it doesn't have to be a difficult question, but it's obvious that you're kind of like researching them if you know about this, that they were part of this team. What are your thoughts? Bhavesh and Asta.
I agree to that. That it does not have to be a difficult question or like it can be something simple that I was looking at this thing and I was researching now how can I put it in their like relevance thing.
Yeah, I saw that you were part of a Stewart School of Business team. Was that hard? Or what was your project? Or, you know, something truly light. And this is what we're talking about. You kind of like going back and forth. And then I have yet another technique when you ask a question and they don't respond because they could have gotten busy. But I guess I'll address that when one of you guys experiences it. Because it makes more sense to you guys if it's relevant, right? Versus me just giving you the information. So Bhavesh, do you have enough to go on for whatever you're going to say next to Mr. Chang?
Sure.
Okay.
Yep.
You're good?
Yeah.
Here's the other thing that I'm observing, okay? In American society, addressing somebody by Mr. or Ms. is not the norm, okay? I grew up in the Philippines, so I understand it, all right? Where you kind of like give deference to like people who are like in higher positions or somebody that you want to make sure that they know that that you make them feel, you know, elevated, so to speak. So I'd like to point out that your approach of calling them Mr. Chang wasn't necessary, but I think that made you stand out.
All right. I tried to like when I was writing up the message, I tried to be a little different than all other people. Like,
and it certainly did that. It did just that as an observer. Asta, you were going to say something?
No. I was just looking at what you were like. I was just listening what you guys were talking about.
Sorry, that you kind of came muffled, Asta. I couldn't make out what you said.
Hello?
Hello?
hello.
Am I audible?
Yeah.
Audible, but not clear.
I was just listening to what you both were.
Okay. She was saying that she was listening to us what we were discussing about this this post, like
Okay.
how I wrote Mr. Cheng and she was listening to us our discussion.
Cool. So was there anything else on that share? Bhavesh, you want to do one more?
Yeah, I have like along the same lines with this person from Discover. This person is also from Discover, but this is not a alumni of our college. So,
Okay.
but I generally I was like, when you connect with someone on LinkedIn, they show you that you might also know them. So this person, like I was just generally looking at their, it generally popped up in front of me, and if you see their photo on LinkedIn, it says that I love data.
That's what you were referring to. Okay. Makes sense. That was quite smart that you addressed it, because people, when you make other people know that you noticed something they took the time to post, they obviously had to create some software or whatever to come up with that picture. That was a very good approach there.
That's a general prop.
Yes.
So I wrote.
I wish I
them-
had such a photo. That was a good opening, just like you. I'm passionate about data. I would like to connect with you, and they obviously connected. Very good. Good job, man.
And this person is from our Illinois Tech only, and she's a student. And I met her the other day, and we were generally talking. We were standing in line to get a muffin, so we generally talked about, like, she's also an international student. So I generally talked to her, and we came up with that she's also from artificial intelligence background. Like, she's also doing her undergrad in that thing, and I am doing a master's in that thing. So we sort of connected on that level. So
Yeah, it's very good. You're continuing the occurrence. I love your message, actually, how you connected it.
correct.
And then you gave specifics as to how you were interrupted. So, I mean, this person definitely remembers who you are. Very nice. What else did you say?
I said that I'm glad that we were able to connect, and I told her, like, she has only 4 followers, like, on 4 connections on LinkedIn. So I told her that she can.
Okay, hang on. Scroll back up, please. Scroll back up. Why do you think I say that was a wasted message?
This one?
Yeah, did you do it like one after the other, or was the time elapsed?
Like after the after the request was accepted, after that I sent her the message.
Okay, you guys, all right, I'm noticing a pattern. Do not waste your response. Keep it going, all right? Because notice how you sent a message and then your next message is again you.
Correct.
Sometimes if it just becomes you, then it's not a back and forth.
No, but the thing that I sent her this message, I would have like did something here, but the reason that I did this, I shared this message to her, that because she had
You
only
talked
4
about
connections,
career
so
services.
career
which
services, yeah.
About sharing with her. So that was a good move.
Correct, because like I felt that since we are able to get the most out of it, the students who might not be knowing about these things, because she's an undergrad, like she might not she might not be familiar that we have a career services or what career services can do for her. So I really
Yes.
shared this message to her.
Yes. The other thing that I would do for that is you would grab the link for the career services page so that they know what you're talking about.
All right.
Okay, it's just additional information, because if a person doesn't know anything about it, you're kind of stuck. They have no
Correct.
place else to go unless they thought of just typing it into the search box like you are right now. But if you give it to them, it's all about like making it easy. Same thing that we're applying to hiring managers.
Exactly. So these were my showcases for this session.
Very nice. I see you're making progress. Good job, man.
Thank you.
Do you guys have any final questions for this session? I think you guys are doing great. You're practicing, and to the point that we made earlier, because once you master this, it's not something that you have to learn more of, like your academics. It's not very difficult, but once you understand what needs to get going, it's kind of like Bhavesh earlier was just saying, I'm just going to make 3 connections a day to increase my network. That it's not about learning the information anymore. It's just practicing it daily and keeping it moving forward, so that by the time you guys need this for your purposes, you already have that network. Good job, guys. Asta, anything else to share? Asta gone?
She's here, but cannot listen to her.
I think she was having problems with audio earlier, right? So I guess, did you have anything else, Bhavesh? Otherwise, we are concluding.
Correct. Yeah.
Thank you guys for participating. Asta and Bhavesh, we love your messages. Please keep on practicing so we have more messages
Now
to
that
talk
we know
about and
that
learn from.
where we are getting our, like, we are wasting our responses, so that we first learned how should our first message should be, and you can see that I am like we are progressing on that. Now it's like it's going step by step.
Yeah, and I'm loving the learning because I mean,
Mhm.
learning occurs when you make the mistake. So it's beautiful. Let's continue having these sessions.
Sure.
Good job, Bhavesh and Asta. We'll see you soon.
Yes.
All right. Bye, guys. Thank you so
Bye-bye.
much.
All right.